So it's been, what has it been, a week since we've done our call? Yeah, a week tomorrow since we've done our first call. We did it in 2 days.
Yeah.
We're badass.
Yeah.
So what's been so tell people about yourself so you can see if they can get a similar result for themselves.
Okay. So I am a team leader, which is essentially a CEO of a very large real estate company. And I was having some challenges in breaking through some of the programming that I had from, history when I was a child, and I knew these were challenges, and I really wanted to be able to erase that programming and rebuild with where I see myself going in the future and the direction that I want to go and what I want to achieve and accomplish. And so I was referred to Patrick and started working with him, and we did a couple of breakthrough coaching sessions, and it's been incredible. And it's been less than a week since we started this process, and I definitely have been able to see the results already, and that is translated into my daily actions. I mean, everything from the smallest detail, which is really what it's about, right? It's being able to make those choices on a daily basis and not go back into the habits that you had in the past that were already programmed there. And so it's been great for me. I feel different. My perspective has completely shifted. And I am now friends with my unconscious, and that stuff is gone. It's gone, and I'm now rebuilding, and I'm building with what I want to happen and manifest in my life, and it's incredibly powerful, and it's really what I needed to get to the next level in my career and in my personal life, and I'm really looking forward to the future. So, thank you.
Awesome. What would you say to anybody that's interested, maybe getting on a call? What was the process like? Just easy, simple, quick, and fast?
It's amazing because I want results quickly. That's my behavioral style. And so I don't have a lot of patience, which includes with myself too. I want things to happen very quickly. And when I was told that it could happen quickly, I didn't believe it. Because I've learned that everything takes time, and it's, a process, and it was a process, except that it was really fast. And I'm amazed at the results that we were able to accomplish in such a short time, in 2 sessions. It's remarkable to me, and I didn't believe it, and I believe it now because I'm living it.
Awesome. Cool. That's awesome. I really appreciate you doing it.
Yeah. And I would recommend, honestly, every single person go through this. I think that it's something that if you're a human being, you will benefit from it, because there is stuff that you may not even be aware of that's happening that may be holding you back from achieving your fullest potential, whether it's in any area of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's highly beneficial. I think everybody should do it, and I really want everybody to do it. I mean, everybody that I know and I care about, and I think that it will help them.
Sweet. And it's crazy because you came to me like, I want to get this black belt, but it wasn't like, that's the problem's never the problem, right? Like, it was not like there was a bunch of other stuff that was causing that. That was just where it was manifesting. Right. And but it was just all this other deeper shit it brought out all of it. Now we just got rid of it all. And of course, got rid of the problem that, it's all done. And the black belt, it's already done, right?
It's done. It's there. I'm there. It's like totally happening. It's just that I just like, can we fast forward through time there too? Cause can we do the timeline therapy where, all of a sudden it's that day. I know we can visualize that. So it will come, and there's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. I'm really excited about it.
Awesome.
I feel good. I feel like the reason, I texted you is because I want to continue. Like I told you, I have this feeling that I've never felt before, which is very interesting because I was listening to Becoming Supernatural today.
Yeah.
And he talked about a feeling that he got when he went through this first, transcendental, whatever he called it, some other thing that happened to him. And he described it a little bit, and it sounds like what I feel. And it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's this thing in my kind of chest, and it's just a weird disconnectedness to, or different, my perception has changed on a lot of things. Like I definitely know my perception has changed in terms of the stuff that used to be a certain thing for me, or the way that I feel about. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I just know I'm changed. How's that? Like, he said that in the book too. And I said, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. Like,
Yeah.
I know that something is different in a level that I don't have any control over.
Yeah. It's hard to, because you don't really have a baseline, other than all my notes, but I'm not going to read them to you because that'd be stupid, But,
Yeah.
like, I have my notes, like, so it's like if you were to tell me about, like, so what do you think about, like, the goal that you have?
I feel great about it. I feel like it's going to happen, and and this is the thing, is like, is it just motivation? I don't think it is, right? Because I can be motivated, and I've been motivated in the past. It really feels like it's a greater certainty than I had.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of the fear is gone. I still have the only thing about the injury, which had not been bothering me at all. Then I was working out this morning, and I had a pain in my where my injured area is. And I, for a minute, like for a second, I was like, oh my God, like, no, my response to that, and was like kind of frustrated about it. And then I was like, well, no, this is fine. It's not going to bother me. And, I mean, it felt better, so I'm fine. But I think it felt more fleeting than dictating of my mindset and thought process. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I would have been discouraged typically. So I do think it's affecting the way that it's the way that I perceive things. My conviction, what I've been saying, I said it out loud to somebody yesterday or the day before, because I think we were out to eat, and they were like, oh, do you want to order, like, do you want to share the onion rings or whatever? And I was like, no, I don't want onion rings. And they were like, oh, what are you doing, like a special day? And I was like, well, and what I said was my conviction, something like my conviction is greater than that, or my conviction is greater than something. I don't know what it was, but that just came out of me. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, I really feel much more strongly that my conviction has overcome whatever those things were, whether it's fear or whether it's like, my eating habits or anything that's going to prevent me from getting in the way.
Yeah.
The cool thing that I will tell you that is different than in the past when I've had these patterns come up, this is another reason that I know there's something more to it, is I told you I tend to be extreme, or I've said that in the past, where, like, I'll either work out a lot or do nothing, or, I'll just work, or I'll work out, or I'll eat, poorly, or I'll eat really ridiculously well and get rid of all the crap.
Mm-hmm.
I've hit that midline and that moderation line unbelievably quickly and well. Like, meaning I'm not cutting out, I'm not saying I'm not eating sugar or bread or whatever, but I'm able to kind of control it. Like, I'm able to not have it trigger me into like a downward spiral if I eat something bad for me. So, or that I don't want to eat, or I'm not really extreme about it. So that's been really helpful. I think, so I think that's just, again, a perspective shift and something internally that's changed, that's allowing me to, I don't know, make better choices, like just make better choices for what I want to accomplish. And I keep thinking about the exercise with the hands, and like you were saying, okay, that's weird because like they didn't come together. They did though. They did, because even if they didn't physically, I get it now. The idea that, and I've been thinking about this quite a bit, this has come up in my mind when challenges arise or whatever would normally be challenges, is that it's that whole thing about my conviction that I realize that I'm one person, that all of those things have contributed to where I am today, and that I have a vision of what that trajectory looks like. And instead of looking at it as two parts, right, it's one thing. Yeah. And that really helps. I mean, that really, really helps.
Yeah. I mean, because I went and asked about that, and we did get because I asked you afterwards, and it was done. I was like, oh, okay, so that was new for me. So it was cool. Either way, we still got the result, which is what it's all about, you know.
And you pushed me to get to, and the realization happened for me when we got to that point where I'll tell you what happened. So you kept pushing me on this side, and I kept, for what purpose, right? So like, then I finally got to a point where I was frustrated, and I couldn't think any more beyond that on the line that I was on, which is kind of the negative line, like right, the left side. It
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't think of anything more that would be ahead of that. And so what I started doing is going to, well, what would be ahead of that, but it's good, right? Like it's a positive thing. And I realized that that line on the left side leads to the same place as the line on the right side.
Yeah.
Right?
I was sitting there, and I'm just like, I knew the word, I knew your next word, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
for what
So close.
purpose? But I
Yeah,
couldn't
you have
tell
to
you.
let me self-discover. And it was good that you did, because that is when I had that realization at that moment, that it shifted from the line that I was on to the other side. So even though, again, my hands didn't come together at that time, my mind did, because I was able to tie in the left and the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
Still
that's
got the
cool.
result.
Yeah.
So
And
how
so
do you
that was
feel?
really great. And I just, at this point, like my desire would be where I can sense that there's still, like, I think it's the reprogramming that has to happen now.
Yeah.
So the way that it was explained to me is like, and I think this feels valid of what's going on for me. It's that whole deprogramming, or that, I think Tyler was talking about it today, where it's the fragmenting, like defragmenting the computer, just getting rid of it, deleting all those old programs and cleaning it and wiping it out. And I do think that we've really done that at a really good level.
Yeah.
And now I want to make sure I'm feeding it or rebuilding it with the programs that I want it to latch onto. And
Okay.
I don't want to go back to old program. I don't want to put the crap back in there. So I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm only putting the right things in now. And I need to know what those are. I need to know what I should be doing to, whether it's these like vision things or my meditate, like, I don't know what it is that's going to do that. I just want to make sure I'm reinforcing it continuously with the right things now. Like, it's very interesting. Yeah. Again, my perception is very different. I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's connected. I think that feeling in my chest is like, I told you, it's kind of like a disconnect. And I think what the disconnect is it's disconnected me from that person
Yeah.
that I was. Like, that's missing, and that's a good thing, which is good, right? It's that stuff that's been disconnected, and now it's new things to fill it up with. And I will tell you a good story. Here's a testimonial for you.
Okay.
So today, the bread, like, how we did the thing on the bread and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been fine. Like, I've still eaten bread, but it's been fine. However, today I went to the restaurant. So remember when you asked me to pick a picture and all of that, and I told you I picked a specific
Yeah.
dinner, a specific roll, or a specific thing.
Yeah.
I went to that restaurant today for lunch,
Yeah.
and the bread basket was on the table, and I looked at it, and I saw that piece of bread, the one from the picture, because that's the one I used, and then I of course thought of the picture, the new, the gross one, the meat one, and
Yeah.
I just went, ooh, okay. I just kind of went, ew, and I didn't have any bread,
That's
and I
awesome.
was like, okay, well, that worked, that was good.
Try them
So,
chocolate donuts at all?
huh?
Did you look at? Did you go by the chocolate donuts at all at the store or
I
anything?
didn't. No, I didn't do that yet. I
Okay.
did, but today I happened to be at that restaurant where that particular bread was, so that was pretty funny.
Awesome. So overall, this whole experience, was it like? What do you think about the entire thing? Was it like scale 1 to 10? How awesome was it? Would you say out of all the, like, because you said you were working with the coach before and doing these things, like on a scale, like, where are you at on it?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Well, as far as the expectations, like what I thought, definitely a 10 as far as getting the results, which, I'm all about results.
yeah,
And comparatively to the other exercise I had been through, which was similar, the fact I told you, the key difference for me with you, and I think really the reason that it was super successful from my perspective, meaning the work that I was doing
Mm-hmm.
and what I was able to do. And I have a couple other things to share, but was because you gave me permission. It was when you gave me permission to be creative, meaning
Yeah.
gave me permission to let my mind do what it needed to do and not worry about the accuracy and the factual evidence of it, because I tend to get caught up in that, of what happened and what
Yeah.
exactly. And that freed me. That allowed me to go through the journey, which was really big. So that's great feedback for you too, to continue to do that. The other thing, and I was telling my friend this story, by the way, I already have people to refer to you. Like, I've already told a bunch of people that they need to, they have to do it. It's the answer. It's kind of like my answer for everything now. Oh, you have a problem with that? Okay, you gotta talk to Patrick. You gotta do this.
Awesome.
So I was telling my friend who I was with, who I definitely want you to work with, Michelle, about it. And what I said to her, that I said, Patrick is on his own journey in this process, and it reminds me of when we teach our agents, like Keller Williams is a training company.
Yeah.
And when we teach our instructors or we teach anybody anything, it's a system that they follow. And they do it by the book because it works. So whatever that proven method is, it gets results. And what I appreciated about you is you didn't care about being right or looking good, right? Which they say everybody cares about being right and looking good. And I'm not saying you didn't, I'm just saying that you were so dedicated to the process of what works, and you used your book. I mean, like, you used it. You read the script, you went through the process, you didn't skip it, you didn't cut corners. And I get that at a deeper level than maybe most people would, because we are a training company.
Yeah.
And we talk about how critical it is, and we do scripting in our business, and how critical it is. And I have a theater background, so I'm all about scripts and using the words that the author wrote, because they have that meaning and they're going to give you the effect and the result that you want. So
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated that about you. And I think that's also part of the reason it was so successful. Whereas other people I've heard may get caught up in the fact that, they may be an expert in the area, and they may get caught up. And so then they guide you in a process, but they might skip something or they might change something.
Yeah.
And that could be the key piece, that it was the missing piece where you don't get the results that you want. So I appreciated that you really honored the process of what you're doing and continuing to grow and learn. And I think that made it effective.
Yeah. Just follow the thing. I was like, it says here I have to test until you're convinced.
And that was so funny that you said that. Like, and you even brought me into that process, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, well, it says client, like when I would ask you a question and like, well, maybe somebody else would have deviated, and you're like, well, client, it says, and I love that. Or wait a minute, do you smell popcorn, and then you were like, I don't know what else to say. So that was great. That was great.
Yeah. I just was trying to keep it light, because when we were doing that parts, I mean, it was getting a little rough. So
Yeah.
I was like, because like, I don't know where it's going. I'm just guiding you, I'm here as your guide. So,
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I'm happy that, you got the result that you wanted. How do you feel about getting the black belt?
Awesome. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. And I believe that I deserve it. I don't have that. That's probably the biggest impact of my issues that I was working on, right? Is that worthiness, or that success, and that whatever it was. And I don't know if it was a fear, or it was just about like, why am I holding myself back? Why am I sabotaging? Why am I doing that? And at least in my mindset and where I'm at right now, I'm completely committed to it, and I'm thinking about it in a different way. It's becoming much more real for me, where it's been this like thing that's been going on for, almost 20 years.
20 years.
I mean, the process has been going on for 20 years, but.
So 20 years gone in a few hours, huh?
Yeah. I mean, at least the last, easily the last 5 years. 5 years has been that was the biggest transition in my life, or where all this stuff had come to a head. And so I'm on the path. I mean, I'm on the right path. It's very clear to me. And this process is what got me there.
Yeah.
So so that's the thing. I just want to continue getting better at it and being able to get to the point where I know mastery is a process, and I know that, as I listen to the book, Becoming Supernatural, and as we've gone through this, and I know there's more, I just want to keep adding, building onto it and doing more. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to go to some conference with you guys next year. I don't know. So this is the other thing I can tell you that's super cool, and you reminded me when you just talked about your unconscious mind. So my unconscious mind, I now feel like it's totally my friend.
Oh, wow.
It's the weirdest thing. Like, I love it. I feel like I love it, which means I love myself. Like, it's a different feeling, It's whereas before I was always like, if we talked about like subconscious or unconscious, that was the thing that was a challenge for me because it was telling me things so I never really, it was separate from me, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And now I love it, and I feel like I want to treat it well, and I want to pet it and take care of it, and it will take care of me.
Yeah.
Well, it's already the values work or whatever with where it is and where health is. It's already moved. I literally bowed out of two obligations that I have.
Yeah.
Because I told them I have to focus on my own. Like, I don't remember exactly how I put it, but I already did it. Like, I've already done it. I've already gotten other crap out of my life. Like,
Awesome.
that was more important than my health, and it's not now.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
Super proud of you. How's the relationship?
Good. Well, I'll see my husband tonight. He's coming back for the weekend.
How do you feel about that? Is it different?
How I feel, it's actually funny that you asked that. It's better. Like, I feel more love. Like, I feel more, like, I sent him a random text while I was in California, and because I was doing my meditation in the morning. It was a gratitude meditation.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, so I just sent him a little like emojis, and he sent back question marks. Like, what? Like, what am I doing? And then I told him that night, oh, I sent you the emojis I sent you was because I'm doing gratitude. I told him I'm grateful for you. Like, I won't say we never have those conversations, but it's very unusual.
Yeah.
And so we expressed, like, I told him I was grateful, and he told me he was grateful for me, which he's probably never said ever in 16 years or however long we've been dating or known each other. We're married now, but so it's better. Like, I feel, and honestly, not just with him. And I listened again today. They mentioned it in the book, and I was like, oh my God, I feel that, which is the kind of the love, the value, or the type of love, or I don't know, but it's different. I'm just telling you, it's like different love for myself, different love for anybody else. So I have different love for him and for my agents and everybody I care about already, but it feels different. It feels like all I can say is like a different level of love, or a different like type of love. Yeah, it's different, Patrick. It's crazy. And then again, I just happened to the what chapter or whatever I was listening to. It's in Becoming Supernatural, and like he was talking about that, and I said, oh my God, I get it. Like, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
So it's better even though we haven't like done work or like specifically done anything differently. I feel different, which is made a difference already.
When you feel differently, people react differently around you.
What's crazy is if you would have asked anybody about me, they would say that about me. Like, I already am everybody tells me all the time, like, you have such a positive energy, and like, I love being around you, and you're so like whatever. So I've always been that way. However, here's the cool thing is because of the work we've done, I feel more like me, meaning I feel more like it's internal. I already had some of it, but it was more like, I don't even know, but it feels truer. Now I feel truer to that person that I project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I fucking love it. It's amazing. So happy for you.
Thank you.
And can do some great things. And I look forward to seeing you when I come to
I know.
Hawaii.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Anything else?
Huh?
Anything else that you need from me, or you,
I would like for you to, when it happens, if possible, to fly out here when I get my black belt.
oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely will. Oh, yeah. I will definitely be there. Be an
Okay,
honor.
awesome.
Okay. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely put that. I'll put the goal in the future as me being there too.
Okay, good.
All right, cool. All right.
Thank
You have a
you.
great evening.
Okay, you too. Talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Okay, bye.